Hey you guys, this is Elia coming to you from the Wartune test server, and in patch 6.1 we see all sorts of crazy changes. There's all sorts of stuff going on in this patch, and we cover lots of it. I'm really trying to get lots of videos out to you guys, detailed blog posts, everything. But here, there's sometimes just little stuff that can't get its own blog post, and I'm gonna try and go over as much as I can here. For sure, for this type of post, look at the blog. I'm gonna put all the links in the description, wartune.dollygames.com, and so the blog post for this is gonna be much more detailed. I'm bound to miss at least a few things, just because there's all sorts of little item things that are removed, things that are added, blah blah. So anyway, we'll go over what I think. Well, let's be honest. We're gonna go over what I remember, which is usually whatever's like right in front of my face. So anyway, so the friends list, it's back down where it should be on this lower bar, and so I'm very happy to see that it functions properly. When people PM you, it will blink, it will tell you how many messages you have going, all that stuff. And guild chat is over here, and so yeah. But previously, it was one of the buttons over here, but they've been adding so much content that they removed it and put it up into this panel. And I think just when game developers do this stuff, they new people or whatever think it's going to be practical and fine, but they actually break something in the game that that was functioning fine before, and can sort of mess with the social aspect of just people not being able to message each other as easily, and that's been going on for months. So I'm very glad that they finally responded to this. I think it could have happened a little bit sooner, just because it was such a fumble on that end, but yeah, so I'm glad to see that friends button. If we go ahead and click on it, we have cross server friends now. I'm a little bit wary of this one, just on a from personal standpoint. I'm not sure how much I want like free reign access for anybody in my cross server to message me, but at the same time I think a lot of players are going to like this. I'm not totally sure how you friend people into your cross server list. The test server is only one server, it is not connected with other ones, so we just don't have a cross server system here really, and so yeah, I can't test it. So we'll see on the full rollout and whatnot how the cross server friends work. I assume that it's going to be only your cross server section, so anybody you see in class wars and battleground and those types of people, or any sort of guild, cross server guild battle and whatnot, it's probably, or I can almost guarantee that it's not going to work across time zones and any sort of major differences like that. Alright, so we can go ahead and just go through the other buttons. Maybe I'll start up. Well, okay, we started down here, so we might as well continue it. So here among the sylphs, I think the equipment is quite different now. Or at least the equipment enchantment, which is quite nice. So here, if I go ahead to upgrade one of these guys, I'm at +10, and you still need +10 to upgrade it. So it has to be fully enchanted to upgrade. I can't get this item to go, but if I go ahead and do this, I'm gonna get Medusa's Smile, and I go ahead and look at that. It's already at +10, so that's very nice. I did another one here, also at +10, even though I haven't enchanted them. So yeah, so it carries the enchantments from the previous items, which is very nice. That's going to save you a lot of enchantment materials. So if you have any big plans to make a lot of sylph gear and you have limited enchantment materials, I highly recommend you just wait until after the patch to do this. So that's a nice one. As far you demons, that's just all over the place, all sorts of changes. Let's see here. Oh, archaeology has this exchange button, so now it's just the items. Oh, I can't exchange anything here, but it will only show items you can exchange, so it's showing me nothing because I don't have any stuff at the moment. But yeah, so that's nice. It's easier to exchange instead of having to click through items individually. And here in the craft area, it's been completely reorganized. Previously this would all be one list, and so now they've sort of parsed it out into items that you can basically act upon, so equipment and whatever, and then down here tend to be the items that you can either socket or enchant with or forge. Yeah, and And so yeah, so that's nice. Sort of similar. Oh, the convert page, okay, it looks pretty much the same, but recycle is sort of split that way as well. In the synthesize page, so here it's all gear, and so I like how they did this. This is all items, so this item list got a little bit long. Well, actually, no, it seems pretty much the same. And then gems. Gems sort of is a coverall for anything that can be socketed. So player gems and resistance crystals, divinity souls, and the kid diamonds. So overall, I think it's a fine change. I'm not sure it was super necessary, but you know it is what it is. As far as things that you can synthesize, I think it stayed actually exactly the same. So no real new content there, just some reorganization. And let's see here. Up on these buttons, so time box is for any of the events where it's a set time per day. So Texas Hold'em, there's a couple hours per day where that happens, and same for U-Demon Arena. So it's going to tell you all the times for each event, and so anything where you're like, okay, is there something going on at this time? Just click on time box and it'll tell you. I think they're making an attempt to you know, shrink down this bar, but there are so many new events and stuff, so there's plenty still listed. That's for sure. Oh, another thing that I already did that I think I shouldn't have done already, which, okay, let me go on to a different tune and I'll show it, which is Beginner Mine has opened up. So let me go get another tune and I'll be right back. Alright, so just real quick here, that on players that haven't done Beginner's Mine yet, or in this case, this tune has done the 5,000 Balin Beginner Mine, and so Beginner Mine was this thing you recharge, and then given that whatever your first recharge is, basically, but you can actually recharge at your own pace. It's just you can previously you could only buy one of these, basically, and so most people sort of hit their limit at 5,000 when they weren't willing to purchase the 30,000 one. But they've opened up this window completely again, and so if you haven't done any of these things, you can go ahead. You can buy this guy for 500 Balins. You get 250 bound Balins back and 500 Balins back. This doesn't mean that it doubles your Balins. It just means that you've paid 500 Balins. You're gonna get that 500 Balins back and get half the amount of half that amount in bound Balins. So it's not anything too crazy in the case of this $5 one, but it is still nice. And this one has an even greater percentage of the cost back in bound Balins. But of course we've already done that one previously. And then there's a 30,000 one as well, so we can get some bound Balins there. And so it goes by character level. This shouldn't be too much of an issue for players who've been playing a while. And the event has ended once we finish up there. So when it comes to Beginner Mine, you know, I have not seen that personally on my account, on my main account, because I started long before any sort of beginner recharges happened or whatever it might be. But I hope that I see it. I hope that I get that for sure. But we'll see. I'm not totally sure. It might just be for newer players. The fact that I see it on test server doesn't guarantee that every player is going to see it on the main servers, just because of how the test server behaves. It could change. But anyway, so that's actually going to be a good thing if possible. And what else here? I think that's it for the top buttons. And then over here, the menu has changed quite a bit. It's much larger, has a scroll down menu, which I'm not sure I'm a big fan of. I don't know if this was totally necessary either. We have to scroll all the way down for patrol and all of that stuff. But yeah, so this menu has expanded quite a bit. They separated devotion and daily check-in. So here's the daily check-in. So these rewards are the same. Again, obviously you're going to want to check in each day. If you can, just run in just to get the skeleton keys and other little things. But yeah, so the skeleton keys have become more important since they added in Lucky Exchange. And so here, the devotion page, everything aside from the daily and weekly has stayed the same. So everything here is the same. The devotion amounts that you get from each item are the same. The only things that has changed are that there are some items added to this daily weekly area. So Kitten Club Voyage are new. Let's see here. And Outland Exploration is definitely new. So those guys give 5 devotion each. So just a little extra in there that can help, push you to the next devotion milestone. But otherwise, nothing too serious. And also up here with our gold, so this amount is, almost 1 billion gold, and so definitely before the patch I would have been in the red, so I wouldn't be able to get my city production or anything like that. Now the gold caps at 2 billion or so, and so you'll never go into the red anymore. Once you get into, on the order of I think it's 2.14 something billion gold, or around there. I do have it on the blog what the exact cap is. And so once you've hit that much gold, you just can't earn any more. It doesn't go red anymore. It just won't let you gain gold at all. All that gold will be trashed. And so for people who carry a lot of farm animals, you still don't want to sell them in large quantities. Some people will tell me, oh, I lost all my gold because I sold 10,000 cows or something like that. So when you're selling those items, you definitely have to do them, a couple thousand at a time. But anyway, so that cap is gone now, and they were progressively making the cap higher, and then they just really went for it. So probably the last thing that I'll mention in this post of lots of little things is that Clothing Engulfing now has this thing where you can choose how many fashion cores and luck charms you're engulfing, which I guess is sort of nice. Previously you had to split them inside your bags, and then you could, sort of divvy up how many of these items you were using at a time that way. It's not super important. The reason why previously I wanted to be able to do these one at a time was because I thought luck charms might be able to crit, or that fashion cores could crit, and then I could get the whole bar to fill up. But that's definitely not the case, actually. The luck charms and fashion cores don't work for critting, so it doesn't matter too much here, but that is, I guess, a considerate addition. So I think that's all I have for the little changes that I can remember. For sure, check out the blog. All of the links in this description. Thanks for watching, you guys. Take care and have a very good day.